許さねえ。なんだ。そんな。
I've heard you all week long. Yes, there are new Dragon Ball horror episodes made by the talented Ginzo Kumate, and today we are going to jump into them. As you saw, the last Dragon Ball horror episodes had two doppelgangers about to face off. The Piccolo doppelganger was going to fight and defend regular Gohan against his doppelganger, and we finally know the truth about the entire doppelganger situation and them trying to replace their originals at any cost. That is a huge issue right now in the Dragon Ball Z world with these doppelgangers. So let's go ahead and jump into the brand new episodes. Let's watch them together first, and then we can go ahead and give our thoughts. But let me know in the comment section below which one of the doppelgangers have been your favorite from this series, because to me, honestly, you guys already know the Goku Black one is honestly top tier. But I know everybody has their preferences, and there have been a lot of really cool doppelgangers in this series. And just a huge shout out to the OG crew, Black Squad, the ones who are here day in and day out, liking and commenting. I see you guys, and it's because of you guys that we are going to reach the 500k mortal plan. If you want to be part of this dream, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. Let's go ahead and jump in. Even though this is not full animation, like the way that it's set up, the way that the slideshow is going, it feels like it's animation with the sound effects and everything like that, the voiceover. It's just, this is probably the highest tier that we've seen this series, and we've never really seen like an actual fight, so this is pretty good work for the fight that we're getting. Now, this is a really interesting what if scenario here, because not only is this the doppelganger for Piccolo, or a Piccolo doppelganger that, you know, is in control of Piccolo, but at the exact same time, this is Golden Piccolo, or the Piccolo that gets all his potential unleashed in Dragon Ball Super Superhero. As you guys can tell by the arms, the arm ridges are gone. So that is that Piccolo versus what I can only assume would be Mystic Gohan, which honestly is a very interesting fight. It's a really, really well crafted scenario, because I never would have thought of these two fighting like that. And in this scenario, yeah, Gohan's a little bit different, but it's still a pretty cool concept, and I'm actually curious who you think would win in that fight. Now, in this fight, we have Gohan with the upper hand based on the way that what kind of creature he is. He's a giant spider, basically, so he has a lot of hacks abilities because he's a giant spider that, you know, Piccolo just isn't really ready for. Piccolo doesn't really even have anything that separates him from normal Piccolo that much, so he's almost at a disadvantage in this fight. After watching that clip, I gotta say that the meme that came to mind was the one where the guy's yelling, "That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!" Because this is peak Piccolo right here with his strategy, his tactics. Piccolo's always been like that, and this doppelganger Piccolo is the exact same way by tricking Gohan, or Spider Gohan, doppelganger Gohan, into attacking, coming at him because he knew that he wouldn't let him charge up the special beam cannon, and then hitting him with just a beam from the mouth at devastating range. Like, this is point blank range. This is like a shotgun to the face. So I don't know if Gohan, or how good he is after that kind of attack, because it is something that is going to catch him a little bit off guard, and he was a little bit worried after realizing that he was caught in Piccolo's trap. This is probably the most emotion and just looking into the mind of one of the doppelgangers that we've had this entire series, because Gohan, or doppelganger Gohan, he has all of Gohan's memories. He knows all about him, and now it does look like that blast at point blank range really did some serious damage to not only his face, his leg, everything. Like, he's just completely decimated, and it just goes to show, it doesn't really matter, not all the time anyway, but it doesn't matter how strong somebody is as long as you have a good strategy on how to defeat them. And more often than not, that's what wins battles, that's what wins wars, is strategy. And I'm glad that Piccolo's strategy came in clutch, and Piccolo protecting them all at this point because he's the only one really that can. I like this. It kind of lives up to what DBS Superhero was talking about, with Piccolo being the main character at that point, and then just the ending here, the fight between Piccolo and Gohan, it feels good because that's where we're at in Dragon Ball Super's manga and the anime. Gohan and Piccolo front and center, so this just feels like it fits nicely along the timeline of everything.
Oh,
バカな。
大丈夫ですか？すごいパワーだ。すみません。
ご飯すまん。
And we finally, after months of watching this series, we finally got the death of one of the doppelgangers. And now I kind of see exactly what happened to Piccolo. He absorbed his doppelganger because, I'm assuming, because he's Namekian and he's used to having he's used to having people inside of him. He's used to having, you know, Kami and Nail, and so that sort of absorption, it comes naturally to Piccolo. So what it seems like, he absorbed the doppelganger. They're now kind of working in unison, or at least Piccolo's side is controlling the majority of him, controlling that doppelganger, and just controlling the scenario of everything. With that being the case, it's still not 100%, and that's why he attacked Gohan as soon as he saw him, because that's the mission, is to kill the not the doppelgangers, the main characters. That's the whole mission of the doppelgangers, is to take them out and take their place. And so Gohan really should have listened to Piccolo and not been around this area, but Piccolo seems to have a good control over it. I'm wondering what's going to happen next. I think it's probably time to save Goku, because last we saw Goku was in a terrible position. But let me know what you guys think of this, and I'll talk to you later.
You see another person that looks identical to you. Run away and hide. You see another person that looks identical to you. Run away and hide. You see another person that looks identical to you. Run away and hide.
You see another person that looks identical to you. Run away and hide.
NANI? バカな
All right, that is insane. The exact same abilities that had made Piccolo resist essentially this doppelganger influence, this exact same ability has now become a double-edged sword as Piccolo has to face off against Nail as well. He completely defeated Kami already and was able to control his own body, but now he's got to face off against Nail, and Nail looks like he's going to be some sort of huge, disgusting praying mantis sort of monster. I don't really know what that was at the very end, but I like the fact that now that fight with Gohan is over, we are assuming now that Piccolo has told Gohan everything about the situation and what's going on, and so Gohan left Piccolo. Piccolo seems to be kind of himself, but still under the control of doppelgangers to an extent, and I love that it is the exact same radio frequency, the one that we've been hearing since the very beginning of this series, the one where it says, if you see your doppelganger, run away and hide, which now this trend is kind of ancient history if you really think about it. Like, this trend came out sometime early last year and nobody is doing it anymore, but Kingo Kumato, he made an entire story, entire series based on this concept, and it works phenomenally. It works very well, and I think that this is by far one of my favorites. My favorite, it's not really animated, kind of animated Dragon Ball fan animations that are out there, especially with all those horror concepts. But I really want to see what Nail looks like, because he just looked like a giant. I mean, honestly, now I'm thinking about it, he kind of looks like an anglerfish a little bit, like a huge anglerfish. Let's go ahead and check it out and see what he looks like.
Nanda?
I love the way that Kenzo Kumato has been throwing in the fact that Piccolo has that golden transformation. I mean, we've seen more use of this this transformation in this animation than I've seen in any other fan animation since that movie came out. So kudos to Kinzo Kumato. But now we see how horrid and disgusting Nail looks, and Nail looks like a snail. So I was kind of close. I mean, anglerfish and snail, basically cousins to each other, but he looks absolutely grotesque, and Piccolo wipes him out in one blow, but is shocked that he did so. He didn't realize that that was going to be the case. I'm assuming he can sense how strong Nail is, and he's completely gone. And that is when he finally comes up to the realization that, yeah, he hasn't actually killed any of the doppelgangers that are within him, and he isn't kind of like part doppelganger. All those doppelgangers are inside of him, driving him crazy. And that's where he finally comes to that realization at the very end, where he actually thought he had control over this. He doesn't have control over anything. And now there are other doppelgangers that are trying to come out from the fused beings that are within his body, which again, he thought he just defeated Kami before. He thinks he defeated Nail, but no, they're still there. So a little confused on whether this happened prior or this happened that same night, and now he's telling them the situation, or this happened before he faced off against the doppelganger Gohan. But I love that we got Dead Zone mentioned. Dead Zone, for those of you guys who have not seen the original Dragon Ball Z US broadcast, where we did get the entire Dead Zone arc, I don't think it is in Dragon Ball Z Kai. Garly Jr. is like Kami's greatest enemy or something. Looks a little bit like a Namekian, not really though. And his whole thing was that he wanted to open up the Dead Zone, which is another dimension that will grant him immense power, which it kind of does in the movie or in the arc. It's like a mini arc between the Frieza saga and the Android saga. And then he gets ultimately cast off into the Dead Zone, which we did see a little bit of Garly Jr. earlier as a doppelganger. So I don't know if he's going to be in it like not a doppelganger, if he's going to come out of the Dead Zone, but these doppelgangers are called Deadites, and they are essentially the beings that live and reside in the Dead Zone, and their mission is to replace all the original characters of Dragon Ball. And with that, they've succeeded with a few, but Piccolo's saying that right now Goku is in the most danger because of this. He's being targeted by 6 other key signatures that are very similar to him. If you guys remember, Goku is actually being attacked by every single doppelganger. He's got the most amount of edits. This is true in every Dragon Ball game, every Dragon Ball video game. There are a lot of Gokus. So yeah, there are really only 5 of these. I thought there were 6, so I miscounted, but yeah, they take a while to come out, and that's why it's been 2 months. So it might be another 2 months before we get another video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. This is going to be BlackScape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content.